welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I've got a brew challenge from Patreon subscriber Ethis, who wanted to see me build around Spellweaver Volute. This is a card from Future Sight, which means it's attached to nothing and makes no sense. It's a 5-mana aura that enchants instant cards in graveyards. Whenever you cast a sorcery spell, copy the enchanted instant card. You may cast the copy without paying its mana cost. If you do, exile the enchanted card and attach Spellweaver Volute to another instant card in a graveyard. Okay, what does this thing ask us to do? It asks us to have instants in the graveyard. You can reach into your opponent's graveyard, but just be aware that if they do something like cast a Murktide Regent and exile the thing, you lose your thing too. You have a little more control over your own graveyard. And then it asks us to cast a sorcery after that. And it also just sort of incidentally asks us to make this all worth 5 additional mana on top of just casting our instant and our sorcery. For that, I have the following instants in my deck. 4 copies of Magma Opus. This one's kind of perfect because you can discard it to its own ability to create a treasure token. That's just printed right on the card. You don't need an enabler or anything. And then that helps you cast Spellweaver Volute with the treasure token. Magma Opus, 10 mana instant. Deals 8 mana instant, sorry. Deals 4 damage divided as you choose among any number of targets. Tap 2 target permanents. Make a 4/4 blue and red elemental. Draw 2 cards. That's the big one. Then I also have 2 copies of Blood for the Blood God. Not the Warhammer card you thought you were going to see on this channel, but here it is. 11 mana instant. Costs 1 less to cast for each creature that died this turn. Hopefully that doesn't matter. But I guess it could. Discard your hand, draw 8 cards. Blood for the Blood God deals 8 damage to each opponent. Exile Blood for the Blood God. Pretty powerful effect to add on top of just like a Thoughtseize or whatever sorcery I'm casting. Pretty exciting. To get this one in the graveyard, I have 4 copies of Fable the Mirror Breaker, 2 copies of Thoughtscour. Not a huge package to do that. Could also technically Thoughtseize or Kolaghan's Command myself, but I hope we don't end up in that spot. There's also 1 of each Surveil land in the Grixis colors, or the blue ones. There's technically a Badlands, but we're not playing that one. And 4 copies of Dragon's Rage Chandler. A bunch of incidental self-mill here, surveilling on top of the Fable the Mirror Breaker. These are all just playable legacy cards. And I added 2 copies of Chrome Mox in case we get stuck with one of these biggos in the hand. They're both pretty good to pitch to Chrome Mox, and both of these draw cards when they resolve. Like if I discard my hand and draw 8, something like Chrome Mox could keep the party going. Just a little incidental action there. And other than that, it's built into kind of a Grixis control deck. The sorceries that can trigger Spellweaver Volute once it's attached to something are 4 Ponder, 4 Thoughtseize, 1 Hymn to Turok, 2 Molten Collapse. Pretty good spread of respectable spells that we don't hate casting anyway. And the rest of the deck's just trying to interact with my opponent and get this thing into the graveyard, and then the fireworks begin. And that's the plan. We'll see if it holds up. This is Spellweaver Volute from Ethis. 3-for-1 Trading is having a spring sale from April 10th to 15th. Their whole inventory is 5% off, and they offer free worldwide shipping on all orders over $500 or euros. Check out their vast selection of Eternal staples, high-end foils, and sealed product. Use code SPRINGSALE24 to enjoy free, fully insured worldwide shipping and 5% off your order. Excluded from the sale is Outlaws of Thunder Junction, non-MTG sealed product, other sale items, and gaming supplies. Scan the QR code or find them at shop.3for1trading.com. I'm on the play in round 1, immediately have both Blood for the Blood Gods in my hand, and no real plan to move my hand around. I'm going to mulligan this. Okay, this one's much better. You wouldn't even know it was up to something if you saw my hand right now. I will keep this and bottom, I think, 1 of the Thoughtscours. Opponent started on Leyline of the Void. Come on, give me a break. My whole deck is graveyard-based. My mind is gone already. Ponder, let's try to play Magic somehow. him to Turok, and of course I fetched a red source. I'll take the land right now. I am going to need that. Opponent's probably on some Black Helm Stompy deck. Those are the decks that would play main deck Leyline of the Void. I could Thought Scour myself. I think I'd rather Ponder. If I could find another black source underneath this other stuff, which I did not do, I am kind of interested in this Thoughtseize, though. Please don't opposition agent me. Cool. Got away with that. Thoughtseize you, see what the other 5 cards in this hand you kept are. Getting a fetch and response. Oh no. We're a main deck Veil of Summer deck. I hate this for me. Okay. Well, bad news, everybody. My opponent has metagamed me perfectly. They knew I was showing up with Spellweaver Volute today. They just suspended Gaia's Will. Okay, so they are some kind of Beseech Storm deck that is not fully functioning here. Fable the Mirrorbreaker is basically my best card in my whole deck right now. I would like to get it on the stack. Okay, if I put back, I want to hide from discard. So I'm going to put back K-Command and Fable, then play this Volcanic Island and pass. Candy Trail, okay. Scrying 2 without fetching. They bottomed both. Good call. I don't really want to Thought Scour anyone, because they have Gaia's Will on suspend. If I Thought Scour them, that's just more fuel later. Fable the Mirrorbreaker is on the stack. I now have a way to win the game. It's just going to take 10 turns. I guess less than that, because 3 turns from now I flip into another 2-2. And I have Lightning Bolt, and they're basically dead. Fetching in the end step, probably going to see a Surveil land. Indeed we did. Dumped a Mox Opal. Lotus Petal. Okay. Here comes some fireworks. The cool thing about games where you have to naturally suspend Gaia's Will is that you could just send it with Reckless Abandon in the turns leading up to the will, because then you just get to do all that stuff again. They just activated Candy Trail. That's interesting after committing 2 Lotus Petals to play. Is they decided they were going to play around discard and then decided to draw a card. I'm just going to bolt their face. Got to get some damage in here somewhere. I'm drawing another removal spell in Kolagon's command. I'm going to discard the Thought Scour and keep the other 2 cards. In for damage, heck yeah. That'll show you. Brainstorm. Okay. Here's this shit. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could almost Opus. It's weirdly close. Okay, Blood for the Blood God can get out of here. And I can float Opus on top of the deck. Almost certainly don't want that card. But I can keep my options open. This is the turn they can kind of do whatever, because Gaia's Will pops off next turn, and even if they fail this turn, they can just send it again next. Mox Opal, Chrome Mox. No Imprint. We're probably going to see a Beseech here. Dark Ritual. Lion's Eye Diamond. Infernal Tutor. Yeah, that works just as well as Beseech. Maybe better. Might even be Beseech. It could be anything, even a Beseech. Helm of Obedience. Plenty of mana left. Yeah, we're dead. Okay. Well, that was a nightmare. My Force of Wills and Dothy Voidwalkers are coming in. My Lightning Bolts are coming out. I like Thoughtseize. Murktide Regent is really bad if they're going to be attacking my graveyard, so is Blood for the Blood God. I promise I'm not just going to board out the package every time, but holy smokes, their specific configuration makes this a nightmare. Meltdown is not without text either. Blood for the Blood God. Pyroblast, Hydroblast, probably not. Blood Moon, probably not. Probably don't need Molten Collapse versus this deck. Bring in all this stuff. Now I have a way to attack even if they shut off my graveyard, and I can actually interact on the stack. Which is not something I built my main deck to do. I built it to be a Thoughtseize deck. I'll keep this. This is actually pretty good. They didn't have a Leyline. You're saying there's a chance. I'm not going to play Chrome Mox here because my Force Blue card is undermined if I exile a card to Chrome Mox. If I draw almost literally any spell, I will exile it to play Fable next turn. Basic Swamp. My thoughts! Okay, they've been seized. I imagine we'll lose Force of Will here, but the rest of my hand's pretty good. Took the Ponder. Okay, that's interesting. Dragon's Rage Channeler, number 2. Okay. Chrome Mox come into play. I'll leave that Force of Will on top. Do I even want that? Yeah, I'll just leave it on top. Fine. Exile Dragon's Rage Channeler. Play Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Shields are down for a turn. But I know I'm drawing Force next turn. If I die this turn, I die. I did my best. I did what I could here. Underground Mortuary is their play. Hopefully a good sign. Then I'm not dead. They kept their card. I might be dead after all. I am going to decline Fable's activation because I have all the cards that I want. Opponent knows this is going to be Force Blue card. They probably don't know that it's Force, but that doesn't actually matter. They saw me keep this card off 2 Surveils and then not loot it away, and they know I have Force. Starting next turn, I can cast a Force if I don't die this turn. I did bring in Meltdown, so I'm not totally ice cold to that. Lion's Eye Diamond, gross. Dark Ritual. Yellow Summer. Well, we've lost. I'm not going to force that. That's the same as not forcing it, except I lose a life and build Storm for them. If they win here, they win. Is Beseech just lethal here? Beseech for Gaia's Will. That replays LED and Thoughtseize and Dark Ritual and Beseech and the Infernal Tutor that's in their graveyard. Okay. Seems we're just getting turn 3 through a Force of Will. It's fine. These things happen. Ritual up to 5 mana. LED makes 8 and 7 Storm. Thoughtseizing one of the 2 forces from my hand. LED. Storm is 8. Yeah, they have exactly 10 Storm here with the Infernal Tutor. They passed priority on that Infernal Tutor. And they might just be showing off. They could just get like Mox Opal or, yeah, Dark Ritual to then Beseech for 1 extra Storm. They didn't have to do this, but they did. Okay. Well, that matchup was horrendous. Sometimes you build a brew that's already conspicuous, and then you also queue into a deck that naturally obliterates it. The turn 0 Leyline into main deck Veil of Summer. Sure, okay. We accept those. Win your spot in the World Series of Poker main event in Las Vegas. Club GG is providing 100 exclusive packages between April 1st and June 30th for those who want to test their skills against the best. Each package includes the $10,000 main event entry fee plus $2,000 for travel. Use code BOSH for a free 7-day premium membership that includes entry to these satellite tournaments. I'm on the draw in round 2, and the Volute is here. I'm going to keep this hand. Opponent's on 6, and I have a Thoughtseize, a Mountain, a Goblin Guide. Oh dear. Burn, huh? Please reveal blood for the Blood God. Alright, reveal a Polluted Delta. Interesting. I'm going to play this Polluted Delta, and I'm just going to... I could Thoughtseize them, which is such a spew, but they are down to 4 cards. Okay. I hate this, but I think it's right, somehow. I'm going to get Badlands. Do I want to get Badlands? Yeah, I do. Alright, Thoughtseize this hand. If I find, like, Eidolon of the Great Revel, that would have been worth more than 2 damage anyway. Okay, Fire Blast is worth 4. Chain Lightning, Lightning Bolt, Simian Spirit Guide. Okay, I'm going to take the Fire Blast here. Gain 2 life, got him. That's also an instant in the graveyard that I can Volute. Goblin Guide gave me another land. A Generous God. Skewer the Critics, that was their draw for the turn. They're holding 6 points of burn and I'm at 10. Okay, Island Ponder. Murktide Regent, Magma Opus. Murktide Regent's actually pretty good. Okay. Opus, Tarn, Murktide. Don't shuffle. I'm just going to discard a fetch land to hand size here. Just trying to fuel this Murktide. They're going to attack. The attack puts another land in my hand. Then I can bolt. Even bolt now. It's all the same. Bolt that. Draw a card. 3 for 3 on Goblin Guide conversions. Chain Lightning to the Dome. I'm at 7. Opus in my hand. Murktide. Made it as big as I could, which is 6/6. It is slightly smaller than my life total. Uh-oh, they found the mountain. Could be dead to anything here. Okay, I have enough lands, I think it's safe to say. Attack with Murktide. I'm gonna discard the Opus for a treasure. So if I treasure the Opus, then Volute it. Okay, I'm at 1.
Alright, I'm dead. God damn it. And their hand is Simian Spirit Guide Lightning Bolt. They could just kill me at any point. There's no reason to even do anything here. Okay, that was too many lands. Force of Will, Hydroblast come in. What is less good? Thoughtseize is a lot less good. That is also a bunch of the sorceries that are in my deck. Molten Collapse, not exactly a hater. Chrome Mox, like speed actually does matter in this matchup. Kolagon's command can make them discard a card without hurting me. Hymn to Turok does the same. I think I have to shave a Blood God, and thinking about a Chrome Mox. I think I like the Chrome Moxes too much. Thought Scour's out. Let's go. Okay, Volute's here. I will keep this in. And I'm going to start by fetching for Badlands in case I draw Hymn to Turok, which is my favorite card in all of history to cast against Burn. You might think it's Chill or Core Firewalker or something. Nope, it's Hymn to Turok. Okay. They killed my creature. I like that. Another land. Okay. I am going to pass the turn here. I'm going to channel the Magma. Probably. Maybe I'll just Brainstorm. I don't know. It depends on what they do. Eidolon. I'm just going to Molten Collapse this thing. Yeah, that's fine. Fetch Underground Sea. Discard the Opus. Look out. Now they know something's up. The big twist has been revealed. Destroy target creature. Red-black. Unfortunately, that's a sorcery gone from my hand. Swift Spear. Okay. Okay, I'm going to Brainstorm now. There are Hydroblasts and Lightning Bolts in my deck. Those are none of the above. Okay, put those cards back. What a deck we've constructed here. Okay, I'm at 11. Opponent still casted spells over there. My critics are skewed. I'm at 8. I'm going to have to fetch to 7 versus a 3-card hand with a Swift Spirit in play. Ugh. I will at least put the dub on the stack here. Spellweaver Volute. Boom. I have enchanted Magma Opus in my graveyard with Spellweaver Volute. I will die immediately, but this has at least happened. Okay, apparently it is displayed by being in play. Okay, so I need to somehow survive a burn opponent with 3 cards in hand and Swift Spear in play and plenty of mana to cast every card, and then also draw a sorcery this turn, which I boarded 4 of them out of my deck. And then even if I do all that, my payoff is drawing 2 cards and killing their Swift Spear and not actually winning the game. Luckily, it didn't matter and we're just dead. Okay. Well, tough crowd so far. Maybe we'll get a nice grindy control deck next that I could try to set up against.
This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks. And groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play in round 3. I'm going to keep this Grixis Delver hand. Leading on Badlands does make Brainstorm slightly worse next turn, but it also enables the possibility of drawing Hymn to Turok, which I understand is a what of, but I am going to play like a psycho about it every single time. Oh my god. Kill Moto Leagues. Opposition Agent. Okay. I can mostly play through that. At least I could until recently. Okay, Underground Sea. I'm going to cast the Brainstorm now. Surveil, keep that Brainstorm. I can put back these 2 fetch lands that will not be helpful to me ever. Next turn I could play Fable, surveil away one of the fetch lands, and then loot away the other on the following turn. Opponent does want to race. Okay, they seem to have kept a 1-lander with Opposition Agent. Pluto dealt to the graveyard. They could have another Dark Ritual into another Oppo Agent. Do I want to give them my Dragon's Rage Channeler is the question. Yeah, probably not. I'm kind of a combo control deck here. Pushing 1 damage versus like not getting blown out by a combat trick or flash creature seems worth playing around. Fatal Push. All right, they had it anyway. Interesting that they valued the Dragon's Rage Channeler over the Shaman. Discard 2 cards. The Scalding Tarn, I think just both lands go here. Sweet. I can bolt this Oppo Agent, or I could trade with it. I've got choices. I'm just going to cast Ponder to start. The Volute. Okay, there is a Fatal Push and a Dark Ritual in the graveyard right now, and a Brainstorm. Okay, Brainstorm, Volute, Hymn to Tarak. Do not shuffle. I'm going to take a stab at their hand here. Hymn to Tarak, Liliana of the Veil are gone now. Volcanic Island, Lightning Bolt, you're idiot, and attack unimpeded. There we go. I'm ready to Volute. I don't have a sorcery, but I'm ready. I'm ready to enchant that thing. Okay, they seem to have nothing again. Just going to move to combat first. Okay, Volute, target. Do I want Brainstorm or Lightning Bolt first? I can at least get this thing rolling. Probably Brainstorm. Oh yeah, buckle up, nerd. You thought you were losing because you haven't played a land drop since turn 1? You're losing because I have Spellweaver Volute. Oh yeah! We're going to count that as a Volute win. Alright, we're playing against some sort of Black Stompy deck again. Didn't see much of their deck. I'm just going to bring in my Disruption and creatures. They saw me Volute here, which means that this could be a Helm deck anyway. It's almost certainly a Dauthi Voidwalker deck. I'm going to cut my Chrome Moxes. I don't really want anything that's going to be 2-card negative, as I sit here with 2 Spellweaver Volutes and 4 Magma Opuses in my deck. If I expect Graveyard Hate, I should actually. It's actually just correct to shave on that. I'm leaving some in. Leaving the dream alive. A no-lander. Disappointing. Gonna mulligan. I will keep this one and ditch the Volute. This is unfortunately a hand that is in a lot of trouble to a turn 1 Oppo, unlike last hand. My opponent was all in on that, and it just didn't affect my hand that much. Swamp. Dark Rit. Oh no. Chains of Mephistopheles. Let's go. All right. That kind of enables my deck in a way. All right, I'm going to fetch Underground Sea. And I'm still going to Ponder, even though there's a Chains in play, because I do need some card selection. I did find the land. Magma Opus doesn't matter. DRC doesn't matter. Okay, Opus, DRC, Underground Sea. Don't shuffle the library, and I'll discard one of the Fables to draw the Underground Sea. Wasteland, no! I thought I got through it. Okay, so is this just mono black Pox? Is that what they actually are? Dark Ritual. A 4-drop. Sorin the Mirthless. Alright, we're not winning this game. Speed running this league. Maybe I need Chrome Moxes now that I know they are a Wasteland deck as well. Let's get ahead of that somehow. Molten Collapse, good against Sorin. Kolagon's Command. Looping Creatures is pretty good. Get rid of some Thought Scours. I refuse to just cut the package completely, even though it is obviously correct. Okay, this hand actually looks good. I'm going to keep it. Underground Sea, Ponder. Dragon's Rage Channeler, Ponder, Thundering Falls. Yeah, I'm cool with these things. Swamp. Dark Ritual. What's the big dummy this time? Opposition Agent. Okay, so I'm drawing Dragon's Rage Channeler. Thundering Falls is under it. I can ignore this thing. Drawing. I can Ponder into the Thundering Falls here. And play that. And there's Fable too. Wow, this suddenly became really good, actually. If I put back Brainstorm, Fable, Thundering Falls, and then play Thundering Falls, just don't Surveil. Or, well, you have to Surveil, but don't get rid of the thing, because it's good. Leave that on top. Wasteland's annoying, but I do have Force of Will for most things. Dauthi Voidwalker. I think this one is a force. I hate losing Murktide Regent, but I think getting this Fable into play is going to be huge. And I'm drawing Brainstorm underneath that. This card selection and mana advantage and card advantage. Just everything that Fable does. What a good card. Chains. Okay, that makes Fable a lot worse, and the Brainstorm on top of my deck also a lot worse. Okay, so if I discard Polluted Delta to Fable, that will make Chains will make me discard another card, which will be Brainstorm. I discard Delta, which makes me discard Brainstorm, which draws Ponder. Okay, still not good, but not the worst shit I've ever seen either, which is where we were a moment ago. You want to trade your Oppo for this? No, you do not. Undercity Sewers, Polluted Delta into the graveyard, Dragon's Rage Channeler, and I can Ponder here and set up my next draw. DRC, ooh, Kolagon's Command is really good. And I'm going to stack the Underground Sea on top because it's just about to be milled. And then I draw Kolagon's Command next turn. Chains Gaming. Pushing my DRC. Okay. They're really worried about a 3/3 flyer. That's the second time they've killed that card instead of my Goblin. And now that there's a creature in my graveyard, that makes Kolagon's Command a lot better. Yeah, the Reflection wakes up. Attack with Goblin Shaman. And then Kolagon's Command, 2 damage to the Oppo. Return target creature card from my graveyard to my hand. Give me that. Happy to spend a treasure on it. And we're in here. We're doing something. Top card of my deck is Dothy Voidwalker right now. They tapped and untapped their mana a million times and then appear to be passing the turn. Okay, I think I play Voidwalker first. I don't know what instant speed discard tricks they'd have, but I'd rather just not even deal with them. And I'm going to leave back Reflection, give myself some options to keep lock pieces up. Dark Ritual, am I dead? Shieldred, that card's pretty good. I'm going to copy Dothy Voidwalker because that thing's unblockable in the end step. I get to keep it until the next end step. Trying a way to kill Shieldred would be the nuts here. That's not what I drew. Okay, so if I copy Voidwalker again, that's 9 unblockable, 10, 11, 12. That's not very good. I think I want to just push with what I can push with, though. They've been scared of Dragon's Rage Channeler this whole game, and if they block it now, that turns on the one in my hand. Okay, suddenly decided the Shaman matters. DRC, get in. Just trying to pummel. They're going to be at 8 after they draw. Slightly worried about some thing that forces me to draw cards here. I guess with Chains, I would never draw the cards. I would just mill instead. But their Chains is kind of protecting me from their Shieldred. If they have a removal spell here, I have to respect that a little bit. Because if I go to copy Voidwalker and they kill it, then I both don't have a Voidwalker and don't have a copy. They thought really hard about whether they're going to attack or not, and then didn't. Liliana the Last Hope. Okay. That can kill off a DRC, but then that makes my other DRC bigger. Okay. That was risky. End step. Now I'm going to copy Channeler. Okay. I have 9 unblockable here. They're at 8. Could become 12 unblockable if I want to main phase my interaction, which I almost certainly do. All right. Copy Voidwalker now and attack for 12. Okay. What's the trick here? We did it. We won a match. Spellweaver Volute unbeatable. The NYSE Open is a prestigious, long-running vintage tournament based out of New York City. It's returning again this summer, June 22nd, 2024 in Plainview, New York. This 15 proxy event has a $500 entry. That's a lot of money, but what are we playing for? First place gets a Black Lotus. Second through 8th place get Time Twister, Time Walk, and all 5 Moxen. At 115 players, a playset of Bazaar Baghdad is added to the prize pool. At 135, 4 Mishra's Workshops. At 155, 4 foil Gaia's Cradle. This prize pool is better than Eternal Weekend. If you think it's worth playing for, sign up for the event on melee.gg or use the link in the video description, and I will definitely see you there. On the draw for round 4, my hand needs a black source or a cantrip or something to do something here, but it is on the verge of greatness in a variety of ways. Opponent played an island. What a refreshing change of pace. Haven't seen one of those yet in the league. Ooh, okay. It's all coming together, team. Don't stifle me, you fucking psycho. God damn it. I'm quitting Magic. I thought we were about to have fun. Thought we were about to play a little bit. All right, I'll play a Volcanic Island and pass. Opponent did not do anything on their turn. They kept a one-lander with Stifle just to show me. And turns out they were right to do so. We'll end-step Brainstorm here. Great. Opponent's Brainstorm locked. Kept a hand on the strength of turn 1 Stifle. Can I play the game? All right, maybe I can play the game here. Chrome Mox. I'm going to exile Blood for the Blood God. Unless they stifle the Chrome Mox or Spell Pierce it. Which they probably should if they have access to that. Hey, Chrome Mox. Stifle. Sick. Alright, cool. Got a Stifle out of their hand. Ay, caramba. I guess I'll... Wait, I could just go to discard and dump Blood for the Blood God. That's probably better than bolting their face, honestly. Blood for the Blood God in the graveyard, right where it belongs. You're on notice. Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb in the Stifle deck? What is happening? Please cast Show and Tell. Oh my god. I'm going to put in Spellweaver Volute. Is this better than... So, the problem is, if I put in Fable, it might actually unlock my hand and do something. If I put in Spellweaver Volute, I actually can't cast my sorceries in my hand. Alright, I'll put in Fable, even though it's boring. The opponent is a Stifle Show and Tell deck. A cursed thing, the likes of which I've never seen. Probably going to lose here, but discard Murktide Regent, Lightning Bolt. There's all my lands. Okay, we're dead. I'm not going to show them that I have Thoughtseize and Hymn to Turok in the deck. That was an annoying match to play. Force of Will, Pyroblast coming in. Maybe Dothy Voidwalker, maybe not. But discarding an Emrakul into a Dothy Voidwalker is pretty great. Okay, Lightning Bolt's out. Blood for the Blood God out. Molten Collapse, unlikely to hit anything important here. Thoughtseize very good. Chrome Mox can probably live without that. Alright, let's play. I will keep. I think I'm going to start with Undercity Sewers. Opponent mulled to 5. Need all the help we could get. Love to see a discard spell here. Thought Scour. I don't actually want that. I want discard spells only. Volcanic Island. Main phase turn 1 Brainstorm. They could be playing around Soft Permission or Bowmaster, and they could have Lorien Revealed in their hand. That's not as weird as it once was. They ponder. DRC. A bunch more cantrips. Ugh. Kind of want all this stuff. And I can have all this stuff. So I will. Just going to play Channeler and cantrip twice next turn, bring the beats. Hold up Force of Will in the meantime. No Lorien Revealed. They are just redrawing those Brainstorm cards. Defense Grid. That resolves. Another Brainstorm. Okay, I guess I'm just holding up Force of Will for the turn cycle. Fetching a Scalding Tarn. Magus of the Moon. Does that even bother me? I did board out all my Lightning Bolts. No, that's fine. I can discard Magma Opus and get another color. I can also just Brainstorm this turn and still hold up Force. Opus to the bin. Got him. Well, Hymn to Turok. These are now uncastable. No, they're not. That's not even true. Okay. I can put back Scalding Tarn, Ponder. Ponder, Scalding Tarn. How do I want to do this? Ponder, Scalding Tarn, or Hymn to Turok is the one that goes back. Ponder, Hymn to Turok. I'm not casting him this game. That's certainly true. I can discard Opus for a treasure, cast DRC, Thoughtseize you, get 2 DRC triggers, bin the Hymn. I only have 2 card types here. I think I want to keep the Ponder. One Ring and Vesuvian Drifter. Well, both these cards are unbeatable. I'll take the One Ring. 2/4 flying, are you kidding me? What am I supposed to do with that? Just draw Pyroblast, I guess? First trigger. It did not become anything. I do have a lot of looks at Pyroblast here with this Ponder. Here we go, spin the wheels. Volcanic Island, Graveyard. Scalding Tarn, Graveyard. Fable of the Mirror Breaker, what is up? That card's really freaking good. Do not shuffle. Fable. Pew pew. in this uncastable Dothy Voidwalker. I'm going to keep this Force of Will. That card's actually good. Hey, let's hope this Vesuvian Drifter wasn't sandbagging a giant monster that eats my DRCs here. This is a nightmare. Well, they gained 7 from that. Their hand is Atraxa. That was pretty messed up. Not gonna lie. Vesuvian Drifter gets another look here. And attacking for 2. Okay, they want to race now. I'm drawing Force of Will. I'm gonna loot away the Bloodstained Mire through a Thundering Falls. I guess I attack. If they want to unlock my lands, I'm fine with that arrangement. Yeah, they're taking a 5er here. Play the Thundering Falls. Unfortunately, because of Defense Grid, I can't hardcast these forces. Show and Tell. Well, I know that's an Atraxa, so I better counter it. DRC trigger, Pyroblast, put that right on top, please. Don't hit, don't hit, don't hit, don't hit. Okay, they didn't hit. Okay. Pyroblast kills with a Vesuvian Drifter, and then they're dead in short order from there. I need them not to rip here. Another Channeler. Sure, I mean, among draws that my deck can produce here, Channeler is among the best. Okay, don't draw a Show and Tell. They know what they're drawing because they saw it with Vesuvian Drifter. Ponder. Ponder didn't shuffle. That's bad. I think what I'm supposed to do here is put Lethal on the board so they have to trade off Magus of the Moon, and then Ancient Tomb kills them if they tap it. Alright, copy DRC. Attack with everybody. They literally can't dismember here, both because of the life total requirements and also their defense grid. They can't Lightning Bolt here. I will force the block with Magus of the Moon, which turns on Ancient Tomb and the Fetch Land, which might help them, but with their life total this low, and they kept their Ponder, I just have to hope I could shove through an Atraxa somehow. The opponent's at 2. Play my DRC. My Surveil lands are all in play already. Nothing to do with this Fetch Land except watch. Fetching down to 1. This is enough to cast Show and Tell, unfortunately. And they tapped their Ancient Tomb and died. Got him! Okay. That blind Atraxa look was pretty brutal. Now I know they have more creatures in the deck. Prioritizing my basic swamp and fetching is going to be a thing. Chrome Mox also plays around that and gives me speed. Should my Hydroblast be in? We only saw blue mana in game 1. Okay, I'm going to low-key shave another Opus and Volute here. Still leaving some in. I have some honor. And Dothy Voidwalker is really hard to cast if they're on a Moon strat, which they may or may not be on for real, but let's go. Opening hand has the basic swamp in it and Force Blue card. Let's go. Seize your thoughts. Who would have thought that Pioneer Rakdos midrange with Force of Will in it was a viable legacy strategy? Opponent went to 4. Let's go. Lotus Petal. Ponder. Wow, that's not even the 4 that you would want if you were this deck. There's 4-card hands, just Ancient Tomb, Lotus Petal, Show, and Del Emrakul that still play. They did not shuffle, and then also did not play a card. I'm going to pivot onto Underground Sea. I could play a Swamp whenever. It's not like a fetch land where you have to get it ahead of the Blood Moon. What are these 3 cards? Tell me about them. Stifle, Show and Tell, Atraxa. I'm going to take the Show and Tell. They did not shuffle the library. Oh, okay. Lotus Petal. That makes sense. They passed into second main so fast I thought they just didn't have anything. This would be a great turn to draw him to Turok. Chrome Mox. I am not willing to give up any of the cards in my hand to accelerate this Fable. And they could stifle the Fable Make a Goblin trigger, which is actually pretty powerful. But when all the mana in their game plan is Stifles, or is Lotus Petals, that becomes pretty awful. This is interesting. I actually want to fetch my basic island here and see if I could get their Stifle on the hook. If I could take half of their in-game resources out with one fetch land that I don't even care about, happy to put it on the stack. Hell yeah, we got him. Cool. Resolves. Wow, look at that. Turns out they made a pretty good gamble on that. But still, Fable and Mirror Breaker is resolving here. And I get the homie because they don't have Stifle anymore. I can hardcast Force next turn and pitchcast Force this turn. Loot away this Chrome Mox. Just good deck building. Put terrible cards in your deck so you can discard them. I could discard the Swamp here. I'm just going to dump the Chrome Mox though. Just minimizing the number of cards that could get them back in this game. I'd hate to just suddenly lose to a Blood Moon that I really, truly don't care about. This might be a hardcast Magma Opus game. We're getting there. I wonder why Stifle is in this deck. Like, they got me game 1 with the Stifle. Stifle is in the format and stuff, but is the plan actually to just, like, stifle people's fetch lands and then also be a show and tell deck? Or, like, what are we doing with that? Is there some trick that I don't know about in the show and tell space? Wow, this Cola Guns command is going to be gnarly. I attack you with my Gobblerino. And in their upkeep, I'm going to K-command their Lotus Petal and make them discard. Target player discards a card, destroy target artifact. You discard, destroy Petal. And we did it! We are somehow 2-2 with this deck playing for a positive record. Let's roll. Welcome to TopDeck.gg, your community's home for everything competitive Magic has to offer. If you're hosting an event, playing for a huge prize, or advertising your events to thousands of players, we've got you covered. Using intuitive pairing software, playing Magic is a breeze. Players just have to sign up online, then scan the QR code in-store. Give competitors the gift of perfect information as their bracket updates in real time. The self-reporting software saves you time and leaves paper match slips in the past. Leave the heavy lifting to TopDeck.gg so your community can relax and focus on playing Magic. On the draw for round 5, positive record in the balance. Opponent says hi YouTube. Everyone say hi to Presto Fart. I'm going to keep my hand. Urza Saga. I don't think I can beat this card ever. Mox Opal. Bloodstained Mire. I am not going to play into him to Turok here. Blood for the Blood God, DRC, Lightning Bolt. I don't want Blood God, obviously. I'll take DRC and Lightning Bolt, though. There might be some universe where I can, like, bolt the first construct and then Polygon's command mop up the second wave, and then maybe I'm still playing Ancient Tomb. Okay, and I can actually surveil the Blood God right to where it belongs here. Dragon's Rage Channeler. And I will pass the turn. Making a 2-2. I'm going to bolt it right now. Surveil Blood for the Blood God to the graveyard. Watch out over there. 2 card types in the graveyard. I can make it 3 with my fetch land. After that, I'm going to need some help. I don't play that many creatures. Ooh, not making a construct. Oh, we're Painter. I'm just dead. Dang. Okay. Yeah. Distracted me long enough to win the game with this shit. I'm ready to concede. Okay. Ouch. Could have held up 2 lightning bolts there. Distracted me with the goods. Okay, Meltdown, Dothy Voidwalker, Force of Will. I don't want Pyro and Hydroblast, I don't think. Blood Moon's a maybe. Probably not, though. It's good against Saga, and, like, not much else. I really hate to trim on the package again. I kind of want to put up a positive record, but I also, like, want to do this. And we're playing against our 5th combo deck in a row. Literally 5 combo decks in the league. So there's that. I could cut Chrome Mox and bring in Meltdown. I think these Thought Scours should just be something else in deck building. That is a nice clean plan that still gives me the chance to do the thing. All right, fine. I'm in here. I will keep my hand. I really don't want to fetch Badlands here, but I would like to lead on Dragon's Rage Channeler. I could get Volcanic Island, play Dragon's Rage Channeler, count on Ponder plus Surveil to come up with the black source for Thoughtseize next turn. That's probably the line. Ponder's also my only blue card for Force. Oh, Leyline to the Void, great. Well, Dragon's Rage Channeler looks a lot worse. Could just get Underground Sea and Thoughtseize them. Guess that's the play now. Pyroblast, Red Blast, Fury, Fable Painter. No lands. We kept a no-lander. My goodness. Alright, well, I'll take your Fable and try to win with my own Fable before it's too late. If they play a Mountain here, I'm losing my mind. Okay. My mind can be kept for a day. Meltdown's good eventually. Ponder found the goods. Do not shuffle. Now you could shuffle. And I'm still going to play Dragon's Rage Channeler. Get these ones in. Bad lands. Okay. Come on, land. For Rainstorm. This might get Pyroblasted, but I'm willing to risk it. Magma Opus into the exile pile. There's a bunch of lands. I like it. Put back Meltdown Brainstorm. Or Meltdown land. Just keep up Force of Will in case I want that. I'm probably going to have to force a Fury, but they have double Pyroblast, so that's not even a good deal. I'm just going to draw this land. Meltdown is my top card. I actually do want that. I think I stacked this poorly. Do I want Meltdown? What's that even for? Does that matter? I'm just going to make it Rain Fables. They have the Fury that can kill the DRC plus the Fable token here. Molten Collapse. I'll keep that around. That does deal with the Painter that I know is in their hand. Plenty of cards to pitch to Fury. Dip to Pyroblast. They still have Red Blast over there, which means I'm not going to try to force this. They will eventually have to spend mana on a spell, and then Force of Will be waiting. Grindstone's not that spell that I care about. Just going to keep all the cards in my hand and play the other Fable. Look at me. I'm the Painter deck now. Mox Opal, not quite on. And I can fetch one of my Surveil lands here. I'm going to get the black one in case I draw him to Turok. The Volute. Oh no. All right. I guess, I mean, they brought in Graveyard Hate. What do you want me to do? I successfully milled over a Magma Opus and then drew Spellweaver Volute this game. And my opponent said no. All right. Keeping my hand once again. Everything is just the nuts. Another Fable in the bank. Fable the Mirror Breaker. How does Descend work? Descended if a permanent card was put into your graveyard. That can't happen with Leyline. Oh yeah. The all-in on Leyline plan didn't work here. Okay. Well, Hydroblast coming in. I've seen more of their deck now and can confirm that they are full of red cards. And like, I really didn't sign up for this league to just play Grixis Fable control, but also like they're bringing in Leyline of the Void against me. I want to do this, but it's just like there's a level of irresponsible that's registering this deck in the first place, which I signed up for. And then there's irresponsible, which is like your opponent is bringing in specific hate and willing to keep a sketchy hand on the strength of that specific hate against the weird thing you're doing. I have to cut it. I have no choice here. Literally gun to my head. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna leave in 2 Opuses, though. I have hope for those. If this game gets grindy, I could hardcast it. I will keep this hand full of reasonable Legacy Magic cards. Opponent's got the Leyline again. See? See? What am I supposed to do here? I'm trying for you. I'm trying for you, people. I'm always trying. Okay, Dragon's Rage Channeler. My deck does not contain a basic mountain. Not that that matters against Blood Moon anyway. Volcanic Island DRC. Bring the beats. And they've got an Elegant Parlor with a Surveil. And they kept the card. Goblin Engineer. That resolves. I can collapse that thing in a molten fashion. I'm going to fetch the basic swamp to do this, just in case they're on a moon strat. DRC triggers. Another Hydroblast. Yeah, give me more of those. I'll keep them. In for 1. Let's go. You got 18 turns to figure this out. Lotus Petal. Painter's Servant. Resolves. Painted it blue. Now I can pitch lands to Force of Will. That's cool. Ponder. In the market for a Lightning Bolt. Not in the market for Magma Opus. Brainstorm Island. This is not super good, but I will take a Brainstorm and play out a land that can shuffle. Started to attack, then change their mind. No plays at all. Brainstorm can mill away the land and then cast Brainstorm. Fable, the Nutters. How do I want to do this? Dauthi Voidwalker is pretty good too. Fable is the really good card here. If I put back Brainstorm and land, now if I have to defend my Voidwalker with a Hydroblast, I don't feel super bad about what I shuffle away. That's what I was trying to balance here. Red Blast, fetch, Volcanic Island, counter target red spell, surveil, land into the graveyard. Okay. I got a clock now, and their graveyard nonsense is turned off. And I think if they could have kept fighting over that, they would have, which means my Force of Will likely to function here. All right, I could force this now, or I could Hydroblast it next turn and just deal with the Goblin. I think I want to force this, pitching the Hydroblast, because I really think this matchup is about Fable. Another Voidwalker, I'll keep that. Okay, opponent has a Fable in the Void. Force of Will on top. As long as they have Painter, I can pitch whatever to that. Yeah, they spent a Lotus Petal on that card. It would cost them 4 mana to Grindstone me. Ensnaring Bridge. I have K-Command in my deck somewhere. And my Goblin Shaman can attack. No loots here. Hardcast Force is online. 3 in the pool. Phyrexian Dragon Engine. Just a 2-2. Just a 2-2 is fine. And I guess they could attack with this every turn, then make their land drop. But I can block it every turn also with my Fable. I can also cast their Fable out of the Void at any point where I feel like that's worth doing. Like I can play the other Voidwalker. Now I can pitch this land to Force of Will. Backup Voidwalker. Do I want another Fable is the question. Or do I just want to sit here with 2 Voidwalkers in play? I'm going to chill. I'm a cantrip deck. They're not. Another Painter. Everything is blue and black. They did that pre-combat so they don't get an attack here. Just looking for that Kolagon's command to break it all open. Make sure it's still in my deck. Molten Collapse is out. Both my Hydroblasts use... Or that doesn't matter. Pyroblast matters, but that's not in my deck. Ponder. Lots of looks. Molten Collapse. Do I want to keep this anyway? Yes. Molten Collapse. Oh, Meltdown. That's a card that I play. Huh. So you're dead? Alright, well, I'll put Meltdown in my hand. Briefly forgot about that one. 1, 2, 3, 4. Meltdown X equals 3. This should just end the game because I also have Force backup. I could have put the Volcanic Island here to get an extra card's worth of selection. Leave Molten Collapse on top. Everything's gone. Now I can't fetch anymore anyway. Or now I can't pitch to Force anymore anyway. So I'll copy Voidwalker and just get in for more. Big beats. Okay, opponent's at 3 with nothing going on. Okay, so a positive record with an asterisk. I tried to do this. I actually did enchant a powerful instant in my graveyard with Spellweaver Volute, twice this league. I tried really hard to set it up. I think the deck is built in a way that kind of supports proof of concept because I did mill multiple Blood for the Blood Gods and Magma Opuses into Leyline of the Void, which all of my opponents had this league multiple times. I considered Brazen Borrower in deck building just to answer stuff like Leyline, because this deck actually cannot answer Leyline. It has to go around it. So in that regard, if you want to say the deck is failed proof of concept because it dies to a single piece of graveyard hate, then I also accept that argument. I don't know what we actually did prove here. Is it that Grixis Control can put up a positive record even with 8 blank cards in the deck? Is that what we did? I don't know, man. I tried. It's tough. There's a reason you don't see some cards. Like Spellweaver Volute, not only do you need to set up an instant in your graveyard and a sorcery in your hand, but you have to spend 5 mana on a blue card in the Pyroblast format, in the Daze format, in the Wasteland format, in between those two things happening. And then the instant you have to cast has to be worth all of that setup. It's a tough needle to thread here, and I tried. I made a genuine effort at it, put up a positive record with a deck that contained these cards, and technically Spellweaver Volute was in play when my opponent conceded at least once, even though we never actually triggered it. But I did what I could here. This was a wild card to have to build around, and I tried. This is Legacy. Ethis, thank you for the challenge. Hopefully this gets your juices flowing if you want to take this out into the streets and try to trigger Spellweaver Volute yourself. Everyone, thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.